So the first thing I would highly recommend for you to do in preparing for the outside scholarship process is to start researching scholarships, and then also making sure that you have a resume ready, knowing the different experiences and extracurriculars and activities that you've been engaged in. That's really, really important, and having that on a resume or listed out. So when you're writing these scholarship essays, you know that you can look towards your resume or this list of activities that you've written down, so you can reference that, whether that means that you are going to be talking about a leadership experience or how you navigated through teamwork, or talk about a different volunteer opportunity that you've had on an essay. That is a great way to kind of like look back and reference all the things you did. And this is a great way to also have this information on hand when you apply to college too. So making sure that you have a resume of everything that, all the wonderful accomplishments that you have and all the wonderful things that you've done so far on a list, so you can reference. And then the other thing I would recommend for you to have is kind of have a general scholarship essay that you can utilize, whether you can kind of use information from your general college essay as well on the scholarship application. Every scholarship is different and unique, whether that is a nationwide scholarship or a state scholarship or a local scholarship that you're applying to in the community. Every scholarship is going to have really different requirements and criteria that you would need to read through to see if you're eligible for when you apply. So just making sure that you kind of have some stories or of times you possibly overcome hardship, or of how you're gonna pursue your dreams and career goals. And usually scholarships want to learn how you're gonna take action and share very specific steps on how you're gonna reach career goals, because they are helping fund your education and they want to know what plans you have, and hoping to help you succeed. So, and then I would also recommend creating kind of a spreadsheet like this, but with the scholarship name, the website, and then also putting your username or your password somewhere privately, that you can, yes, of course I can share this link with you. Thank you for asking me, Ivana. So I'm gonna share it again in the chat right here. But this is a little doc I made that you can view. But basically I would create a spreadsheet very similar to this, and just making sure that you also have the deadlines listed on here as well, because I've had students who applied to 12 or 15 scholarships, and it gets really hard to keep track of, especially throughout the year. So, so when you have a spreadsheet like this, you can reference it and see all the different scholarships that you applied to from now at the end of your junior year, to all the way to, you know, the end of your senior year. That's what I meant. So this is a great way to organize your scholarships that you're applying to, so you can track them, and then also putting them on your calendar, planning a time to do them each week, whether that's every Thursday night from 6 to 8, you're going to make time to apply to at least one scholarship a week. And then making sure that you have your go-to person, whether that's your mentor, your advisor, your high school counselor, or your teacher, who's going to help you look over your scholarship application and your essay to make sure that it is great and ready to submit, because you want to make sure that your essay is error-free as possible when you're submitting these scholarships, because you're being, you know, you're going to be compared to a lot of other students as well, and you want to make sure that you stand out by making sure that you put that extra care and effort in applying for these scholarships. All right, does anyone have any scholarship questions? Or I'll go on and keep sharing more info with you. Okay, sweet. So my next tip would be using a really reliable search engine, a search engine that I really trust, and that when I was a former college coach, I'm now a current admissions counselor at the University of St. Thomas, but I still recommend this for students, is the College Greenlight website. And I shared that in the link, so you guys can click on the doc and check it out. But this is how it actually looks like right here. Yeah, and you can create your own profile. And the great thing about it is that it will find scholarships by distance, scholarships that are located in your region, in your community, in your area, by major, whether you're planning to pursue medicine or biology or art. You can apply for those different types of scholarships. And then you're also, when you're filling out your profile, they're going to ask about possibly your grades or your GPA or your test scores, or your interests and your background. And they're going to find scholarships that match your find scholarships that you'll be able to meet the criteria for, that you'll most likely be eligible for. But I would always recommend to go through the scholarship application very thoroughly to make sure that you're eligible, because you don't want to waste time applying for a scholarship that you're not eligible for. And I've had students who have done that before an accident, or they misunderstood the application, or didn't read it thoroughly, or needed extra support. So I would just make sure that you look through the application and make sure that you meet the criteria for these scholarships before you apply. And again, there are tons of scholarships that you can seek out, whether that is on a search engine or even within the Houston area. So the mayor's office shared this really cool website that kind of lists the different scholarships that are available to Houston students, everything from the iStorage Katie scholarship to the Hot Sauce Depot. If you didn't know already, there are also like some nationwide scholarships by corporate companies such as Coca-Cola and Taco Bell, and the Live Moss scholarship, where students only have to submit, maybe would submit only like an essay where you're not even reviewed by your transcript or your test scores or anything like that. But some of these scholarships might also require you to submit that your family is in financial need. So I would also recommend to have your FAFSA or your TAFSA completed, because some scholarships might require that information, whether you submit your student aid report. Your student aid report is a summary of your different of your family's kind of financial aid information, and it shares the EFC, which is your expected family contribution in paying for college, and that number kind of helps scholarship determine if you could be eligible for it based on need. So these are great scholarships that you can be considered for as well. There's also the Houston Rodeo, too, where they award over $80 million in scholarships a year. So I'd highly recommend to apply for that. And then they also offer some other search engines. FastWeb is a great website, or CapEx or Niche, but I really like College Greenlight because I think it's super trustworthy. So those are some things that you can look into. And then I shared some other websites too. We have the East Texas Community Scholarships, where they offer different scholarships based on your academic interests. I saw scholarships for future medical students or future art students and music students and chemists. So that's something that you can look onto, and that link is here. The Bell Scholarship Program offers a student a laptop for 4 years and a $20,000 scholarship. The Jack Kent Cook Scholarship, I had a student earn that when I was working in a high school, and he was able to earn $40,000 a year as well. And that's a really great scholarship, especially if you're hoping to have your tuition and your living expenses paid for, and you plan to live on campus in a dorm, for example. And you also want to look for scholarships that are renewable. So renewable means that it is going to be awarded to you each year for the next, usually in the time span of 4 years. So each year you'll be awarded a specific amount and a renewable scholarship. So I really recommend for students to apply for a renewable scholarship. I was able to earn a $1,000 renewable scholarship, meaning that every year of my college career, I was able to have $1,000 for school. And that was always reassuring, because with the one-time scholarships are great financial support too. It's just that you don't know what type of funds you'll have the following year to cover your expenses. So that's why I always recommend for students to apply for renewable scholarships too. And then we also have the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the APIA Scholars as well. And I've had students apply through these programs too. And I think they're pretty reliable scholarship programs that students can look into. So feel free to browse this website. If you are looking for other trusted scholarship resources, I would recommend heading to your school's direct, whatever university that you're applying to, they'll have a direct financial aid website. The University of St. Thomas, on our financial aid website, we have a list of outside scholarships that you can look at and see what you're eligible for. And then also, whatever university that you're applying to will have a page like that, and you would be able to see what kind of outside scholarships that other students have also applied for. So that's another way to look at it. Also, if you want some extra tips, today I was looking at some YouTube videos of juniors and seniors who have recently graduated, and they had really great tips as well on applying for scholarships. So yes, you can also check that out too. So feel free to look at this list. And again, if you have any questions, I will share my email in the chat. So you're more than welcome to text me or email me or text me anytime. So I'll share my number as well. So it's cassieT@sttom.edu, and my number is 713-294-7517. All right, does anyone have any questions about scholarships? All right, okay, I think we have, all right, thank you. Yes, well, thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I really appreciate you all. It was super fun. And you're more than welcome to attend your next session.